Attraction doesn't always look like attraction. Most of the time, it hides. Not in big gestures, not in obvious flirting, but in small, almost invisible behaviors. Things people don't even realize they're doing. And the strange part is, you've probably seen these before. You just didn't recognize what they meant. Because when someone is trying to hide how they feel, they don't remove the feeling. They just lose control over how it shows up. 1. They look at you, then look away. It's quick. So quick, you almost miss it. You catch them looking at you, and the moment your eyes meet, they look away. Instantly. Most people ignore this. They assume it's random, but it rarely is. In psychology, this links to something called approach avoidance conflict. The same person who feels drawn toward you also feels the urge to pull back, because attention creates exposure, and exposure feels risky. You're in a room with other people. Nothing serious is happening, just normal conversation. But something keeps repeating. Their attention keeps drifting toward you. Not directly, not openly, just enough for you to notice. And every time you look up, they're already looking away, almost like they don't want to be caught holding that focus. That pattern matters, because attention doesn't repeat like that without a reason. What you're seeing isn't confidence, it's hesitation. They're interested, but they're not ready to be seen being interested. So instead of reacting, you stay steady. Next time it happens, you don't rush to break eye contact. You hold it, briefly, then you move on like it didn't matter. That response does something subtle. It removes pressure. And when pressure disappears, people stop hiding as much. 2. They act slightly different around you. With everyone else, they're consistent, relaxed, predictable. Nothing stands out. But around you, there's a shift. Not dramatic, just enough to feel off. Watch them in a group. They're talking normally, comfortable, unfiltered. Then they turn toward you, and something changes. Maybe their tone becomes more controlled. Maybe they think a little longer before speaking. Or they suddenly seem more energetic than usual. The difference isn't loud, but it's there. Attraction increases self-awareness, and when people become more self-aware, they start adjusting themselves in real time. They're no longer just interacting. They're observing themselves while interacting, trying to say the right thing, trying to come across the right way. That's why you don't mirror their shift. You don't adjust back. You stay grounded, consistent, because when one person is stable, the other person slowly relaxes. And when they relax, their real behavior shows up again. That's where the signal becomes clear. 3. They remember small details about you. You mention something once, in passing, no emphasis, no repetition, and later they bring it back, clearly, accurately. It could be something simple, a preference, a random story, something you said without thinking twice about it. Time passes, you've already forgotten it, but they haven't. They recall it like it mattered. This connects to selective attention. When someone is attracted to you, their brain doesn't treat your words like background noise. It assigns weight to them. Even small things get stored, because your presence carries more importance than usual. That's the difference. You're not just someone they talk to, you're someone they pay attention to, and attention is rarely neutral. So instead of overreacting to it, you acknowledge it lightly, just enough to show you noticed, without turning it into something heavy. That balance keeps the interaction natural, while still reinforcing the connection. Quick question, be honest. Which one have you noticed most so far? A. They look at you, then look away. B. They act slightly different around you. C. They remember small details about you. D. They seem a little nervous around you. Drop it in the comments. Most people don't realize they've already experienced more than one of these. 4. They seem nervous for no clear reason. There's no pressure, nothing serious happening, but around you, something feels slightly unstable. The conversation is simple, normal topic, but they hesitate, they pause, they restart sentences. Maybe they laugh too quickly or correct themselves mid-thought. Not because they don't know what to say, but because they're trying to say it right. This is social evaluation anxiety. It happens when someone starts caring about how they're being perceived. And that changes everything, because now they're not just speaking, they're monitoring themselves while speaking. That creates tension. small but noticeable. So instead of speeding things up, you slow the interaction down. You respond calmly. You leave space between responses. You remove the pressure to perform. And once that pressure fades, their behavior becomes clearer, less controlled, more honest. 5. They mirror you without realizing it. This one doesn't look intentional, because it isn't. You shift your posture. A few moments later, they do the same. You lower your voice slightly. They match it. You smile, they reflect it back. Not perfectly, but close enough. This is mirroring, a subconscious behavior linked to connection. The brain uses it to create alignment, to reduce distance, to make interaction feel natural and familiar. And the important part is, they're not aware they're doing it, which makes it more reliable, because it's not controlled. It's automatic. You don't need to test it. You don't exaggerate it. You just notice the pattern. Because once you start seeing it, you realize how often people reveal connection without saying a word. 6. They try to hide it, but it slips in moments. Some people are good at hiding attraction. Very good. They stay composed, balanced, neutral. Nothing stands out. But no one maintains that perfectly. Everything looks normal, controlled. Nothing stands out. Then something shifts. You say something slightly personal, or give them attention they weren't expecting. And for a moment, their reaction changes. Their expression softens. Their focus sharpens. Their energy shifts just enough to feel different. Then it's gone, back to normal. That moment matters because it wasn't planned. In psychology, this is called emotional leakage, where real feelings show up briefly before control takes over again. So instead of looking for one clear sign, you pay attention to repetition, because attraction doesn't prove itself once. It shows up in patterns. Small, consistent, easy to miss unless you're looking for them. Attraction rarely announces itself. It shows up quietly, in attention, in behavior, in moments people don't fully control. And once you start recognizing those patterns, you stop guessing. You stop overthinking every interaction, because now you see what most people overlook. Which one made you stop for a second and think, yeah, I've actually seen that happen?